Something that's always fascinated me about Geminis, and that is your ability to be in two places at once. I know your secret. And this is your February reading, February 2026. That card is definitely for you. Oh my God, how weird is that? Right. I do a little channel before each of my readings, and for you, the fact that you can be in two places at once came up, okay? The card that I get for you just right now is clock. Interesting, because I have a weird theory that Geminis can kind of bend time. I know it's a little bit back to the future. Time is both a friend and a thief. Use it wisely, okay? I think Geminis are very good at using time. I think other people don't understand how Geminis use time. I know I've said this before, but I used to do a flat share with a Gemini, and I swear to God, she had 37 jobs. I mean, I couldn't, even watching her used to just send, and I'm a Pisces, so I'm like the same as you, mutable cat hair. And I just used to watch her and think, has she got like 3 lifetimes crammed into one? Because she just seemed to be everywhere at once. Now, it's a skill, but it's also a bit of a drawback sometimes. And you also get the mirror. This is about looking into yourself, okay, introspectively. And think of this in terms of how present you are, okay? We also have an eclipse in February coming up, a new moon eclipse on the 17th. And I just have a theory that people are going to need to be ready to know what their journey for 2026 is, because I think it starts then. I think we all had the new year coming in, and we all thought the new year was obviously the new year. It's what comes up on the calendar. It's what the clock tells you. The bongs go at midnight, etc. But I feel like the new year starts mid-month in February, okay? And it's in a sister air sign for you, so it's even more likely to affect you, okay? I want to throw a few tarot cards first, but just have in mind that being in two places at once is going to be both your gift, but also something you need to be aware of. And how present you are in a situation is going to affect the outcome, okay? I know. First of all, we're going to have a look at that. Halfway through, I'm going to do a love reading. Oh, hello. Oh my God, okay. Well, I like this already. Maybe the love reading comes first, as it were. I hope I don't get all Benny Hill like I did in the Cancer reading. It happens sometimes. You get the Knight of Cups. And of course, we know the Knight of Cups is traditionally love. Someone coming in, it's like, I have my cup. Would you like to go on a date? That kind of thing. And interestingly, the card you get with it is the King of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups, I'm sorry, I've got bloody cat hair on my mouth and I've got lip gloss on. Have you ever done that? It's completely gross. So you're probably going to see me going like that. At least it's just a cat hair. We got the Knight of Cups becoming the King of Cups. And this is a very welcome development because we have Page, Knight, King. And it's about emotions becoming more mature and growing, which I don't know. What does this relate to? Let's take another card. What does this relate to, please? Obviously, it can relate to relationships because it's love. Knight of Cups, King of Cups is love. But it can also relate to anything that you hold very dear to you, very close to you. I'm getting a kind of a message, a channel that there is a project or there is a, what do they call it? Like a dream. When you have a sort of desire, a dream, an ambition, that instead of just being on paper, is attached to your emotions and your feelings. You know, it's not just, oh, I feel like I could do this, or, oh, I want to do that. It's like, I must. This is a vocation. So some of you, this could be starting your own business. A lot of Geminis do that. A lot of Geminis, and let me know in the comments if this is you, and this is again about being in two places at once. A lot of Geminis have several things going on, and it works very well for you. So you have like a main job and you have a side hustle. You have a side hustle, a main job, and then another side hustle. You know, like hustle, son of side hustle, son of side hustle. This is the bamboozling but amazing thing about being a Gemini. So there's something here about one of those things. You may have many, but there's one that captures your heart. There's one that is your thing, that is your dream, that is your, dare I say it, destiny. Okay? There are some words as a tarot reader I just hate. Destiny, journey, there must be others. But I'm saying it because that's the only word that, excuse me, that will work. That could be the cat hair. There's a cat just there on the window, on the inside. That's Baron von Squeaks, because she squeaks a lot. Okay, we get the Four of Cups. There is something here about deliberating. That's something Geminis don't tend to do that often. In my experience, you are, and let me know in the comments, what are you like about making decisions? In my experience of Geminis, you're quick and it works for you in a way that it doesn't work for other star signs. So if you're making ding, ding, ding like this, I'm going to do this, that, let's go. People think, I've got a crazy cat here. Go on, sweet pants. People think that you're not doing your due diligence, but that's the way that Geminis roll, okay? That is your due diligence, is to be like a butterfly, to not stay too long in one place. So when I'm telling you that there is something that is like a vocation, that is your destiny, I don't necessarily mean that you need to kind of just hunker down and only do that, because I know that's not, it's not the way that makes you spark. It's not the way that makes you roll. But there needs to be some reflection, and it probably needs to be during some period of alone time. Okay, I'm thinking hermit energy, but we will see. Okay. Also, what you might find if you're already on some kind of mission in this is that the problems that have come up so far, or the issues that have come up so far, or the bumps along the way, or whatever you want to call them, during your taking the foot off the gas, during the times when you're not trying to solve it, you're not using your brilliant mental faculties, because you know you've got a bit of a computer brain and you can be like, yeah, this, that. You're like a walking algorithm. But sometimes when you take your foot off the gas and do nothing, that's when you're going to find things really fall into place. So strange. And it's, you know, one thing I have noticed in Geminis is you're massively industrious in lots of different ways. And you find it hard, let me know in the comments, but I don't feel I'm speaking out of turn here. You find it hard to do nothing. You find it hard to be like, take your foot off. No, don't have to do that. Don't have to be in control of this. Don't have to make that happen. Just do nothing. I know. I'm going to write it down for you. I do this because I then forget what I've said and I can never ever find anything to write on. So I'm going to write on this. Do nothing and watch everything happen. I wrote that on the inside cover of a book because I literally, normally I write on the back of envelopes, but I just don't have any. Okay, so these two cards here, Four of Cups, Four of Swords, are about doing nothing. Hooray. As a Pisces, I can't think of anything better than doing nothing. I love doing nothing. But as a Gemini, that's a true challenge. Okay. You then get the Six of Cups, which tells me a few things. We could be segueing into the relationship reading. We'll have a look at that in a second. But also, when you get the Six of Cups, it's traditionally a childhood sweetheart card. But when you put it in context of achieving things, when you put it in context of destiny and coming to fruition and doing what you're meant to do and looking in the mirror and all of those things, and also, I suppose, what we might call divine timing, but I'm going to call time bending because you're Geminis. There is something here about you trying this before, or you've been wanting to do this since you were a child, or, and this is just for one or two of you, and you better get back to me in the comments and confirm, okay, because this is going to be nutcase material if you don't. You had a vision, or you had a weird experience when you were younger, which has something to do with your destiny or what you want to do. A bit of a kind of road to Damascus, you know, a bit of an aha moment. Could have been a dream, could have been a supernatural, could have been magical. I'm not going to put any kind of, you know, structure around it, but please let me know in the comments. It could have been a vision, a smell, a symbol, but something will revisit you and let you know that you are on the right track and this is what you should be doing. And some of you, oh my God, what a great card you're getting next. Some of you have had families or parents or the usual kind of stuff, school, where they've tried to bring you down from what they would say, oh, you've got your head in the clouds, you know, you're just, oh, what a scatterbrain, and you've got all these dreams, but that doesn't really happen. You know, people don't become artists, or people don't do this, or this kind of people, or people like you don't do that. So that you're kind of primed for disappointment, okay? And this may be around the age of 6, you know, that age where you're so beautifully optimistic and formative and that sort of, I'm going to be an astronaut, or whatever it is. There's the next card you get is the Sun, okay? And this is like, look to the Sun, especially because, and I don't know why I had to choose it for you, had to choose you this rather icy, I mean, it is a Gemini colour, but icy, wintry tarot. And I think, look to the Sun, let it melt your reservations. Fortune favours the brave, but you're not required to put in a load more work to achieve this. In fact, I'm going to stick my neck out and say the more work you do, the less you're going to get, which is so weird. So it's like you're on a rewind, you're on a take back, you're on a slow down, you're on a kind of a go slow. The more time you can spend in meditation, the more time you can spend in deep evolution of your soul, the better. So when people ring you up, as people always do with Geminis, and say, you coming out tonight, or are you meeting up for this, or are you doing that, you'd be like, I'm staying in and I'm going to be promoting the evolution of my soul tonight, so I can't make it. So there. Hi, sweetie. We have a second cat here. Diabolo. Hello, honey. This could be a fight, and there could be a hiss, and there could be a growl, and that's just me. Right, should we look at your love life? Love. In the erection section. Oh, we also have some people drilling and stuff. Those of you that watch my dailies and do come watch the dailies, you will know that I just have a 360 accompaniment of people drilling around my house. And I have had for years. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is, Diabolo? Shall we look at Gemini's love life? We shall. Okay. Yes, I will tell them that there is an extended love reading. Gemini, there's an extended love reading. So if this is smoking hot for you, the link is below. Let's have a look first. Okie dokie. All right. I'm going to take 3 to start off with. Oh, I rather like this. First card you get for your love life is interesting. It's the 5 of Wands. when we get the Five of Wands, there is usually, and it's not major, but I think of it as a ball of wool. And you know, when you have a ball of wool, I mean, I haven't touched a ball of wool for a long time, but I used to try and knit when I was little. But being a scatty Pisces, I kind of always manage to, like, I don't know how it happens either, but you just end up with one bit that you try and pull and the whole thing snags. And then you can't work out where the strand begins or ends. And it all becomes very sort of discombobulating. When you get the Five of Wands and you're looking at love life, there is some sort of disconnect. There is some disconnect either between what you're saying and how you feel, or what they're saying and how they feel, how you're living and what you want. There's something that's a bit... And I'm also getting I always get really weird channeled messages when I do Gemini's reading. I'm getting like sort of electronics. And you know, in electronics, you have like, sometimes it's USB-C, sometimes it's lightning, sometimes it's USB. And it has to fit. And there's a disconnect. It doesn't fit. You got the wrong lead. Okay. So we know that there is some form of disconnect in your love life. Next card we get is the Nine of Cups, which is very nice indeed. This is Jupiter in Pisces. Think of the Nine of Cups as your heart's desire. And think of it in the same way that we're thinking about the Knight of Cups becoming the King of Cups. There's an honesty and a progression in terms of what you want in your love life. And you're probably going to be very sensitive to disconnect. And I'm going to say, and I'll have a look in a minute at some more cards, that you're going to want to either heal a disconnect or cut it off completely. Okay? Next card I get is a very nice card because you can see it's like there's a join. And this is the Three of Cups, which, although it's, you know, a water sign card, it's very Gemini because it's very much about socializing, connecting with people. There's something here about the need to connect, okay? And it can be among your friendship groups, but it can also be in a particular relationship or in your romantic, you know, whatever's going on in your romantic relationship. It can be with one particular person, it can be with an ex, it can be with a current, yeah, okay, or it can be with someone new because we just got that card as well. Wow. Oof. Got the Page of Wands, which is about like a fledgling passion. So this can be basically fancying somebody, them fancying you, or things being a little bit like, it's a bit like a pilot light that could become bigger, but at the moment it's like little burning. It's like, ooh, yeah, okay, I'm kind of interested. I like that. But then we get the Five of Pentacles, and there's something about you that's, I don't know, there's a need to be independent here. There's a need for you to know that you can do something for yourself and that you don't necessarily need somebody. You just, oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, hang on. We've got the Queen of Wands popping in as well. You're not going to be with anybody because you need to be. And you're not going to try and repair a connection that is beyond repair. So I think what you're going to find in the next 4 or 5 weeks is that you're going to be experimenting, and you're going to be either playing around with a connection that you've already got, or playing around with a connection that's coming in, or whatever it is for your individual circumstances. And you're seeing what fits and what doesn't. And this could be through conversation, it could be through dates. But Queen of Wands takes no prisoners, and she's pretty hot as well. So this is a lot about physical attraction, about passion, about compatibility. I like this for you, but it's not necessarily peaceful. Oh, I like that you've got that. Okay, good. I get that. Yeah. Your relationships are going to be put to the test, but the tester is you. Yes. Three of Swords, heartbreak. This can be previous heartbreak. This can be heartbreak that's going on at the moment. Either way, this is stuff that is quite deeply buried. Okay. And we did get the mirror. And when you get the mirror, it says the most profound truths are often held within yourself. There is something that may be lying below the surface in a relationship, in a connection, with an ex, wherever it is, where you have used wit and communication and thoughts and all sorts of things to talk about this, to try and fix this, or to even banter about it. But it's much deeper than that. And there's something about you accessing some hurt. And I feel like, again, I'm feeling like this goes back to 6 years old. I'm feeling like it goes back to abandonment. And most of the Geminis I know are very free-spirited, not very jealous, not very possessive. And that's great. But there's something here about a fear of abandonment, of having to go things alone when you were younger, maybe 5 or 6, because we've got the 5 of Pentacles. And for some of you, your trust was broken early on, okay? And it does. Our early life experiences show up so strongly in our love relationships and connections. And it feels like that's a pattern you've experienced in your life. But Strength card. Queen of Wands with the Strength card. Come on. You rise. You rise up. Oh my God, I have to write that down. You rise. Woof. It reminds me of a poem. Is it Maya Angelou, I Rise? Go and have a look at that poem. That's your homework, okay? This Strength card is very, very important because although most Geminis are very independent and people think you've got your life really sorted, this is much deeper than that, okay? This is finding an inner strength that you did know you had, but you didn't know how to access it. And the opportunity is going to come up in love and relationships, but also in your career and your life in general. Your entire, right across the board, is the ability to be in one place where you're dealing with the everyday stuff, but also to be in this other place, which is the world of what's inside you, which is the world of who you always knew you were, the spark that makes you absolutely yourself and nobody else, but also the shadow side of that, the hurt side of that, and the side that needs healing underneath. Okay. In the extended love reading, I'm going to particularly look at your shadow side, the healing that needs to be done, the 3 of Swords, what's beneath the surface for you, okay? Because this is going to help things get unblocked and to release. We also get the Ace of Pentacles, which, although a lot of people think, oh, Ace of Pentacles, it's a boring card because it's like, Pentacles can seem a little bit stuffy and a bit earthy to us mutable signs. But when it comes up like this in a sort of no nonsense, I'm getting my shit together love reading, it means what I call biting the coin. It means that you are only going to put your energy into things that are real. That are real, that aren't counterfeit, that you can feel, and that are worthy of the work that you're going to be doing internally on yourself, okay? Because when you do this, your self-worth rises, and the people and the situations that show up for you, they come up to meet your high bar, okay? I'm excited, okay? I'm going to crack open some shadow cards. We're going to look at your energy. We're going to look at the healing that needs to be done. We're going to look at where it comes from, your next course of action, and also if there's other energy that's coming in from somebody else on the other side. Whew. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.